All right, here we go. This is going to be part two. Hopefully, we can get a little more in depth this time. Why is it like that? Once again, we're just going to be looking at the week in general, not necessarily looking for anything in specific, but just looking around, looking at price action, seeing what we can learn from it and what trades we could have taken. So, with that, let's jump right into it. Also, guys, I named the model the propulsion block model. I'm gonna call it the Dynamis model. Isn't that? I think that's such a good name. Apparently, so Dynamis is like Greek for dynamite. What's where the word dynamite comes from? And it's like, well, propulsion block, right? It's very explosive, so the Dynamis model. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be the name of it. For like, that's what I'm calling it, right? You guys can call it whatever you want, but I mean, look at how nice propulsion blocks are, right? You see this? We have a 1 minute order block here, right? You see that 1 minute order block? And then off of that 1 minute order block, we have a propulsion block. See how sensitive these propulsion blocks are? So what do we look for off of if we have a order block and then a propulsion block? We look for, it's a 1 minute propulsion block. Since it's a 1 minute key level, we're looking for a 5-second change in state delivery. So check this out. So there's the 1 minute order block, and then 1 minute propulsion block. And guys, if we drop down to a lower time frame, let's put this on Twitter. Actually, this is kind of cool. Alright, so 1 minute order block, 1 minute propulsion block, and then 5-second change in state with a liquidity sweep. Check this out, right? Propulsion block, and then align time frame change of state. So we had a 1 minute propulsion block. We have a liquidity sweep right here. And if we have a 1 minute key level, then what kind of change in state of delivery do we need? We need a 5-second change in state. Bang. What if I make this blue? That looks nicer. I think I'm gonna make propulsion blocks always blue, actually. I don't know why. Just feels like they should be blue. It looks better. So let's save this. Sorry, this is backwards, right? Alright. My third model, everyone. Actually, I have more than three. I just kind of, I just don't use the other ones that much. That's so cool. Alright, let's save this in the correct folder it's supposed to go in. Let's put it in the folder for Saturday today. Alright, let's post this on Twitter. My newest model. So introducing introducing I love this. I love that. Okay. So, now, let's move on, right? What are we going to look at now? I guess we should probably screenshot this as... I already wrote this out as a trade off the... So this is the first strike as well because it's off of first presented for value gap 2. But, you know, the more confluences, the better, right? So, is that really an issue? If we have two models that overlap the same entry point? No, that's better. So this is 930 Dynamis, 1 minute, 5 second. Alright, that's pretty cool. So let's move on. Maybe we could take a look at Wednesday or more from Thursday. Just look around, see what we got. So yeah, I kind of want to take a look at more from Wednesday. Wednesday was interesting because we essentially just dumped. We just straight dumped off market open. I wonder if we should probably try and look into why did we dump? Why did the market dump so aggressive? If I haven't already looked at it yet. I think one big reason for why is we have this CRT on the daily, and you know this was an obvious draw on liquidity. We still have this weekly CRT. I feel like this should still be a draw on liquidity, but now we're kind of, we'll just have to see. So okay, let's go back to Wednesday. So what happened on Wednesday, and how can we learn from it? Well, we have a price leg here. It's a really obvious price leg from premium to discount. Dropping down a time frame. We have very obvious 15-minute gap. So these are the kinds of price legs you want to measure. Just like, what's the most obvious one, and the one that actually has the most displacement. You can even measure it out like maybe like that. Either way you do it, it's in premium of it every single time. So anyway, this is a nice whatever it's called, section of price to measure out premium discount. I guess you can't see it on my screen. It's a nice section of price to measure out premium discount. So I guess, yeah, actually let's measure it out on let's do it on my other screen. So, right, from this swing low to this swing high, this is, you know, this is the move of this placement. This is the type of price leg you want to use for measuring out premium discount. And then we have essentially this is just a 5-minute gap when you combine these two gaps. You could even have it just be this singular 5-minute gap, but I would combine them. So we have a 5-minute for value gap here. I mean, this is just crazy straightforward. It's actually kind of crazy how straightforward this is, right? This is the specific price leg you want to measure out. What was I doing on this day? How did I miss this? Oh, this happened at 6:30. So I guess, yeah, I guess you might not have gotten entry if you weren't up. I think on this day on Wednesday, uh, I might have missed trading. That might have been why. Yeah, so this specific price league with the most displacement is the price league we want to measure out. Okay. Alright. Now we drop down to our line time frame, which is in this case the 30-second. So we have a 5-minute premium for value gap, and then we look for 30-second change in state. That occurs right here. Very, very obvious change in state, right? You can see how we push up into it, and I can't remember, but I think I might have tried to take this, or what actually. I did note this as a sell model. That's right. I did note this. I remember now. I noted this as a sell model, but I was looking for a lower time frame entry, and then I never really got it. So maybe I should have just taken this as is. I think maybe the best way to take this is maybe just take it as an inducement of this high. You could take it as an inducement of this high too. Only thing is, these are low resistance, so it could have been possible that we swept them. So 5-minute gap, 5-minute premium for value gap. And this is the most obvious for value gap. The reason, this is just such an obvious gap right here. In between here and here, this is just this is the obvious gap. So, yeah, once again, measure this out. From this obvious swing high to this swing low. It's just the most obvious one. You could do that one, but once again, this is the most move with the most displacement. You could also do this, right? Either way, it's still in premium. Doesn't really matter. You can even do this. Even do this. Either way, however you do it, it's still in premium. So 5-minute, 30-second, and then you could enter this inducement of that high, but I would like to wait for this inducement. So I would probably take this as an inducement of this high. So yeah, I would take this as a flow state inducement where I enter short above these equal highs. Once again, right? This is the accumulation range. This is the manipulation. And then here's change in state on the aligned time frame. So there's manipulation. So I could even mark this out like this, right? I could say, okay, let's say I want to draw it out like this. See how this is just a giant accumulation range? I guess we'll mark it out as a box. Let's do it like that. Right. You see how the market's just all different cycles of AMD? And I did map out the sell model in real time. I was just too scared to take it without a lower time frame entry, and I didn't get one. So I think next time we get this, I just need to have the conviction to enter a sell position inducing this high. I just got to do it. And the only thing is, this was kind of early. It's at 8:47, but I would have been on the charts, so. So accumulation, manipulation. Once again, I would take this as inducement of these highs. And once again, since in this context, right, since you're inducing highs, I feel like you could just have stop loss here, honestly. Actually, I probably put stop loss here. And then if you target the range lows, that's 5.3 to 1. Actually, let's target the fourth standard deviation. So from here to here. We actually don't hit OTE. But anyway. Whoops, didn't mean to burp like that. So once again, this would be really nice. I'd take this as a flow state trade, but instead of entering on right on the chain of state delivery, I would wait until we got a little bit more price action, and then I would enter as an inducement. And you can see we go straight down to fourth standard deviation. So it's pretty cool. Okay, let's go ahead and screenshot this. So flow state inducement. $8.47. This is on Wednesday. Yeah, I don't have this one in here. This was on Wednesday, right? Yeah, it's not in here. 8:48. Okay, 8:48. Flow state inducement. 5 minute, 30 second. And the reason I'm calling it flow state inducement is, normally with flow state. So wait, once again, 8:48. Flow state inducement. So what is flow state? Let's just go over this real quick for anyone who's watching and doesn't know what the heck I'm saying. All right. So 8:48 flow state inducement, 5 minute, 30 second. So flow state is you take a key level, which in this case I'm using this 5 minute fair value gap, and you have to find. Well, there's specific time frames that align with each other. So if you have a 5 minute key level, you need a 30-second change in state of delivery. So we get that here. Normally on a flow state trade, you just enter on the retest with your stop at the high, and this would have ended up hitting. You can see this would have been fine. This would have hit. This would have been 4R, right? If I measured it out the same way I measured out standard deviations. But what I'm saying is, I can get a more precise entry if I be a little patient, because I'm not sure we're ready to go run liquidity yet, and then I just wait for a secondary inducement of these highs, right? I'm just basically being a little more patient and entering on an inducement of old highs, still within the context of this model, and then yeah, we go straight down. So I call that flow state inducement, and yeah. Like sometimes flow state retest, typically you want to put stop loss where you measured out standard deviations, but sometimes I don't have it all the way there. It just kind of depends on the context. So, all right. So going back here. Yeah, it's saved under Wednesday. Alright. I need to go use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Let's bring this over just a little bit. And oh, we should see if there was SMT. let's keep going. I'm kind of not in as good of a mood right now. I don't know. Just kind of annoyed. Conversation upstairs. It's kind of annoying. But you know what? We'll just keep going. So, anyway. Yeah, you could have measured this out as a 15-minute gap and a 1-minute change in state of delivery as well. Yeah, you can see that here. Right, 15-minute gap. Same thing, right? Same exact thing, just instead of 30 seconds, it's a 1 minute. Sorry, I'm a little bit more quiet. I'm just kind of annoyed right now. Once again, you could take this as a inducement here. Same thing, 15-minute, 1 minute. 15-minute for value gap, 1 minute change in state of delivery. Flow state, inducement. Actually, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm gonna end the stream. I'm